Hello and welcome to today's tutorial on Polyanalysis. Today we'll be covering two nodes with some overlapping functionality, the modify columns node and the filter columns node. So first we'll be covering modify columns, and our tasks to perform here will be to change the MPG column to be all capitals. So we're going to be renaming the column. We're going to take the displacement column and change the data type from numerical to integer. And we're going to take the year column and we're going to discard the column. So looking at our data set, we can see our car statistics data here. We have the miles per gallon column, the displacement column, and the year column. So to make these transformations, we're going to right click on modify columns and go to properties. One thing to note is that this UI is almost exactly the same as what we see in a data loading node when we go to the columns tab. So first we won't need to rename MPG. We can simply click in the new name column here and manually type in what we want to change it to. Next we take the displacement column and we can see the type is numerical. We're going to change that to integer by going to the new type column, clicking the drop down box and selecting integer. And finally we're going to take the year column and check the box in the discard column that will remove the column. Then we click execute and we can see the results. So now the miles per gallon column is in all capitals. The displacement column no longer has those decimal places. It's just an integer now, and the year column has been removed. Next is the filter columns node, which similarly will be removing columns from the data set, but it works slightly differently. Or at least it has a UI that makes certain tasks easier. So what we want to do is to discard all columns that have a C. So to understand what that means, let's take a look at the data set. We can see we have a basket analysis type data set here with names like 74B, 74X, and some of them should have a C here, 99C. So our task is to remove all of the columns that have a C in it. So we're going to right click filter columns and go to properties. And we can see all of our columns listed here on the left, but we also have a search filter here. I can just type in a C and it will filter to the C columns. Then we can click the double to the right arrow here to select those C columns and execute. And if we look at our results, what we actually see is that we've done the opposite of what the task asked us to do. We were supposed to drop the C columns rather than keep only the C columns. So what we're going to do is we need to enable a specific option in the filter columns node that isn't normally enabled. But to do that, we're going to click up here in the top left and go to user settings. Then we're going to type in advanced. And we're going to go to working with project/report. Then we have this advanced column filter checkbox. Let's check that on, click apply, click OK. And now when we look at the properties for our filter columns node, a new option has appeared in the bottom right, use all columns except the selected ones. So we're going to check that box and click execute. And that will essentially invert the selection. So now we're dropping these C columns instead of keeping them. So that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you and have a wonderful day.